Welcome to Talk About It in English, where we build the exact sentences you need for real life. Today, we are stepping into the most dangerous 60 seconds of your morning abroad. It is 8 o'clock in the morning, the hotel cafe is loud, you look at the waiter and proudly say, "I will have the breakfast." But suddenly, he fires back at lightning speed. How do you want your eggs, white or wheat? For here or to go? Your mind goes completely blank, you freeze, you point at the menu, and you feel that hot rush of embarrassment.
I used to hate this so much. On my first trip to London, I literally ate protein bars in my hotel room just to avoid the panic of ordering breakfast in front of people.
By the end of this video, you will never have to freeze again. I am going to give you the cafe rhythm blueprint, the exact 3 questions they will always ask you, and how to answer them flawlessly.
Ordering food should be one of the easiest things you do when you travel. You are the customer after all. But the reality is that a busy hotel cafe or a morning diner is one of the most high-pressure English environments you will ever step into. The staff are rushing, the line behind you is getting longer, and the clinking of coffee cups makes it hard to hear.
And the biggest problem is that traditional English textbooks do not prepare you for the rhythm of a real morning rush. They teach you slow, polite, full sentences. But when you use those slow sentences in a fast environment, it actually causes friction. The waiter becomes impatient, they start firing rapid questions at you, and that is when the panic sets in.
Exactly. We call it the deer in the headlights freeze. You prepared your one perfect sentence, you delivered it, and you thought your job was done. But then the waiter hits you with a follow-up question you did not study.
So today, we are going to dismantle that entire interaction. We are looking at the exact choreography of a breakfast order. We're starting with the first words out of your mouth, moving through the inevitable follow-up questions, and finishing with a technique that will make you look like a total native speaker.
Let us start at the very beginning. Step 1 of the cafe rhythm blueprint is fixing your opening line. We need to talk about the "I want" warning versus the "I'll have" fix.
When you look at a menu and you finally decide what you're going to eat, the most natural instinct for an English learner is to translate their thoughts directly. In many languages, you simply say the equivalent of, "I want the pancakes," or "I want a coffee." But in English hospitality, starting your sentence with "I want" is a massive trap.
It really is. It's not grammatically wrong, but the feeling it gives to the native speaker is entirely wrong. When you say "I want," it sounds like a demanding child. It lacks a certain social grace. It sounds like an order given to a servant rather than a polite transaction between two adults.
And because it sounds so blunt, it immediately sets a weird tone for the rest of the interaction. You might notice the waiter becomes a little colder or more abrupt with you. The fix for this is incredibly simple, but it requires retraining your muscle memory. Instead of saying "I want," you need to use the phrase "I'll have," or even better, "I'll just have."
Let's break that down. "I'll just have." Native speakers use this phrase constantly. The word "just" acts as a softener. It signals to the waiter, "My order is simple, I'm easy to deal with, don't worry about me." It brings the tension right down.
But here's the trick with pronunciation. You can't say every word perfectly clearly. If you say, "I will just have the pancakes," it still sounds a bit robotic. We need to use the contraction. We need to say, "I'll."
And the pronunciation of "I'll" is something a lot of learners struggle with. They try to say the letter I and then a hard L. But in fast, connected speech, it sounds more like the word all or I'll. I'll just have. Listen to how smooth that is. I'll just have the pancakes.
Let's practice that together right now. Wherever you're listening, I want you to speak out loud. We are going to do a simple shadowing exercise. I'm going to give you a food item, and I want you to confidently say the full phrase, "I'll just have the." Let's start with coffee.
I'll just have the coffee.
Excellent. Now let's try it with the breakfast combo.
I'll just have the breakfast combo.
Perfect. Do you hear how the rhythm falls? The stress is on the food item, not on the beginning of the sentence. I'll just have the coffee. You're gliding into the sentence.
Getting that opening line right is crucial because it builds your initial confidence. When you say, I'll just have smoothly, you feel like you belong there. But we all know that the opening line is not the end of the story. Once you order your food, the waiter is going to strike back.
Which brings us to step 2 of the cafe rhythm blueprint, the great egg interrogation. If you order any breakfast item in an English-speaking country that includes eggs, you are going to be asked a question that paralyzes millions of tourists every single year.
The waiter will look at you, tap their pen on their notepad and say, "How would you like your eggs?"
And they will not say it slowly. They will smash the words together. It will sound like, "How do you want your eggs?" or "How would you like your eggs?"
I remember the first time I heard this. I had just ordered a full English breakfast. The waiter said, "How do you want your eggs?" And I literally just stared at him. I thought, what do you mean, how do I want them? I want them cooked. I want them on a plate. I did not realize I had to be the chef and give specific instructions.
In America, Canada, the UK, and Australia, egg preparation is a very serious personal preference. There are dozens of ways to cook an egg, but the good news is you do not need to learn all of them. To survive this interrogation, you only need to memorize 3 specific answers. If you know these 3, you will never freeze again.
The first one is the safest and most common: scrambled.
Scrambled eggs. This is when the eggs are cracked into a bowl, mixed up completely, and cooked into soft yellow clouds. Scrambled is a fantastic word to know because it is almost impossible to mess up, and every restaurant in the world can do it.
Let us practice the pronunciation of scrambled. The trick here is the cluster of consonants at the beginning. SCR, skr, scrambled. The ending has a soft D sound, scrambled.
Try saying it with our opening phrase. Imagine the waiter asks, "How do you want your eggs?" You say, "I'll just have them scrambled, please."
Very good. The second type of egg is where things get a little tricky for learners. Sunny side up.
Sunny side up is such a visual, descriptive phrase. Imagine the egg is cracked directly into the frying pan and never flipped over. The white part cooks, but the yellow yolk in the middle stays bright, round, and liquid. It looks exactly like a little yellow sun shining on a white cloud. That is why we call it sunny side up.
This is my absolute favorite way to eat eggs, but it is a mouthful to say. Sunny side up. Notice how the words link together. Sunny side up. The D in side connects directly to the U in up. Side up. Sunny side up.
If the waiter asks, "How do you want your eggs?" and you want that liquid yolk, you confidently reply, "Sunny side up, please."
But what if you like the liquid yolk, but you do not like the raw-looking egg whites on top? That brings us to our third essential egg vocabulary word: over easy.
Over easy means the chef cooks the egg like a sunny side up egg, but then flips it over in the pan for just a few seconds. The egg white is fully cooked, but the yellow yolk inside is still liquid and runny when you cut into it.
This one is very common in American diners. Over easy. Again, pay attention to the connected speech. The R in over connects to the E in easy. Over easy.
So, let us review your 3 safety answers: scrambled, sunny side up, over easy. When you walk into the cafe, decide which one of these is your favorite. Make it your default. You do not need to make a complex decision at the table. Just know in your heart, I am a scrambled egg person, and have that word loaded in your brain, ready to fire.
Let us do a quick simulation right now. I'm going to play the role of the rushed waiter. I'm going to speak at native speed. Do not translate in your head. Just react instantly with your favorite egg style. Ready? Here we go. Good morning. What can I get for you today?
I'll just have the breakfast platter, please.
Sure thing. How do you want your eggs?
Scrambled, please.
Excellent. Did you feel that rhythm? I asked the question, and Lily bounced the answer right back to me without hesitation. Scrambled, please. That's the exact rhythm you're aiming for.
If you're finding this rhythm breakdown helpful, this is a great moment to subscribe to the channel. Every week, we take these real-world, high-pressure situations and give you the exact tools to speak confidently, rather than just studying grammar rules that fail you in the real world.
Now that you've survived the egg interrogation, you might think you're safe.
You take a breath, you smile at the waiter, and then they hit you with the second phase of the attack.
Step 3 of the Cafe Rhythm Blueprint is what we call the side dish trap. In North America especially, every meal comes with choices. You don't just get toast, you have to choose the bread. You don't just get meat, you have to choose the animal.
So, right after you successfully say, "Scrambled, please," the waiter will immediately say, "White or wheat," or "Bacon or sausage."
This is where A2 and B1 learners fall into a massive trap. We call it the grammar trap. Because you are learning English, you have been trained to speak in full, complete sentences to show that you are polite. So when the waiter asks, white or wheat, your brain goes to work. You think, okay, I need a subject, a verb, and an object. And you say, I would like to have the wheat toast, please.
And while you are slowly delivering that perfect, beautiful, grammatically correct sentence, the waiter is internally screaming. They are standing there with their pen, looking at 3 other tables that need coffee, and your long sentence is actually breaking the rhythm of their work.
It is a huge cultural misunderstanding. Learners think long sentences equal politeness, that in a busy service environment, speed equals politeness. The most polite thing you can do for a busy waiter is give them the information as fast as humanly possible.
That is why we're going to teach you the noun plus please rule. When you are hit with a rapid-fire choice in a restaurant, you must drop the grammar, drop the subject, drop the verb. Just give them the noun and attach the word please.
If the waiter says white or wheat, you do not say, I want white. You just say, white, please.
If they say bacon or sausage, you say bacon, please.
If you order a coffee and they ask, room for milk, you say, yes, please, or no, please.
This feels incredibly uncomfortable for learners at first. It feels rude. It feels like you are barking orders at a dog. But I promise you, to a native speaker's ear, white please, delivered with a warm smile, is the most polite, professional, and friendly way you can possibly answer.
Let us practice this dropping grammar technique. It's like a game of ping pong. James is going to throw 2 options at you very quickly. You have to catch the one you want, add the word please, and throw it right back. Let's try a few.
White or wheat?
Wheat, please.
Bacon or sausage?
Sausage, please.
For here or to go?
To go, please.
Notice how that last one works. For here or to go is the classic coffee shop question. Are you staying in the cafe or are you leaving? To go, please. It's so fast, so efficient.
By using the noun plus please rule, you are showing the waiter that you understand their world. You are participating in the dance of the restaurant. You are no longer a confused tourist. You are a savvy local who knows how to order.
Okay, so we have fixed your opening line, we've prepared you for the egg interrogation, we've taught you how to drop your grammar for the rapid-fire side dish questions, but what if you want to skip the interrogation completely? What if you want to look like an absolute master of the English language?
That brings us to step 4 of the blueprint, the preemptive strike. This is an advanced fluency technique, but it is incredibly powerful.
The word preemptive means to take action before something happens. In a cafe context, a preemptive strike means giving the waiter all the answers before they even have the chance to ask the questions.
If you know that ordering the breakfast combo will trigger a question about eggs and a question about toast, why wait for the questions? You can bundle your entire order into one smooth, continuous sentence.
When you do this correctly, it is a thing of beauty. You look at the waiter and say, "I'll have the breakfast combo with scrambled eggs and wheat toast."
Think about what happens when you say that. The waiter does not have to ask you anything. They just write it down, nod, say, "Coming right up," and walk away. You have completely eliminated the back and forth pressure.
Let's analyze the structure of the preemptive strike. It requires 2 key linking words, with and.
You start with your fixed opening line. I'll have the breakfast combo. Then you use the word with to attach your first specific detail, with scrambled eggs. Then you use the word and to attach your final detail, and wheat toast.
The secret to making this sound natural is the pacing.
You don't want to rush through the whole sentence without breathing, but you also don't want to pause for too long. You want to group the words into chunks.
Listen to the rhythm. Chunk 1. I'll have the breakfast combo. Chunk 2. With scrambled eggs. Chunk 3. And wheat toast.
Notice how the linking words with and are unstressed. We don't say with scrambled eggs and wheat toast. We swallow those linking words. They become very small, with scrambled eggs and wheat toast.
Now let's do a slow shadowing repetition of this bundled sentence. I'll say one chunk, and I want you to repeat it exactly how I say it, matching my pitch and my speed. I'll have the breakfast combo.
I'll have the breakfast combo.
With scrambled eggs.
With scrambled eggs.
And wheat toast.
And wheat toast.
Now let's put it all together into one fluid movement. Deep breath. I'll have the breakfast combo with scrambled eggs and wheat toast.
I'll have the breakfast combo with scrambled eggs and wheat toast.
Beautiful. This technique works for absolutely everything you order. Think about a coffee shop. Instead of saying, I want a coffee, and waiting for them to ask what size, whether it is hot or iced, and what kind of milk you want, you do a preemptive strike.
I'll have a large iced latte with oat milk, please. Boom. Done. No follow-up questions, no panic. You give them the size, the temperature, the drink type, and the milk type, all bundled together with that magic word, with.
The preemptive strike requires a little bit of mental preparation before the waiter arrives at your table. While you are looking at the menu, build your bundled sentence in your head. Rehearse it silently. Then, when the waiter makes eye contact, you deliver it with total confidence.
We have covered a lot of ground today. We have moved from the terrifying freeze of how do you want your eggs to the smooth, confident delivery of a fully bundled preemptive strike. Now, it is time to put everything you have learned to the test.
We're going to do a full-speed, immersive role-play simulation. This is the most important part of the episode. You cannot just listen to English, you have to feel it in your mouth.
Here's the scenario. You are sitting in the busy hotel cafe. The plates are clinking. People are talking loudly. I am going to be the fast-speaking, rushed waiter. Lily is going to be your internal coach.
I will tell you exactly what you need to order. When James speaks to you, I want you to answer out loud, right where you are sitting, using the techniques we just practiced. Are you ready? Here we go.
Morning. Can I get you something to eat?
Use your bundled preemptive strike. You want the breakfast combo, over easy eggs, and white toast. Go.
I'll have the breakfast combo with over easy eggs and white toast. Got it. And what can I get you to drink?
You want a black coffee. Use the I'll just have opener.
I'll just have a black coffee, please. Sure thing. Did you want room for milk in that coffee?
Drop your grammar. Noun plus please. You do not want milk. Go.
No, please. Great. I'll have that right out for you.
And scene. How did that feel? If you stumbled or if you felt your heart beat a little faster when James asked about the milk, that's completely normal. That means the simulation is working. You are experiencing the real cognitive load of a spontaneous conversation.
The beauty of the Cafe Rhythm Blueprint is that restaurants are highly predictable. Waiters do not want to have a deep philosophical conversation with you. They want to know what food to bring you. If you master this specific sequence, you conquer 90% of breakfast interactions worldwide.
Never use I want. Always prepare for the egg interrogation. Drop your grammar and use noun plus please for rapid choices. And when you're ready, use the preemptive strike to bundle your order and look like a pro.
Your challenge for this week is simple. The next time you go to a cafe in your own city, even if you are speaking your native language, I want you to mentally translate your order into English using the preemptive strike. Build the sentence, I'll have the large coffee with room for milk. Say it quietly to yourself before you order. Build that reflex.
Now that you have survived the hotel cafe, it is time to step outside and navigate the city. Click the video on your screen right now to master our 3-turn taxicab routine, so your ride into the center of town is just as smooth and confident as your breakfast. Keep practicing, speak out loud, and we'll see you in the next situation.